Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be the monthly 5 under $5 challenge, and this month is all about Christmas and winter. So grab your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and join me. To start this DIY, we're going to cut up one toilet tissue roll, and I ended up making 8 of these cuts, and they're probably around ½ an inch maybe, and that's all we're going to use as the base for this. Then we're just going to take yarn, and I cut it to about 8 inches, I'd say, and then we're going to fold it in half and then wrap the fold around the inside of the tube, grab the loose ends, and then pull them through. Now I think this is called a wren's knot. I don't do macrame, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and we're going to do it all the way around that band. Now that all the loops are on, we're going to grab these loose ends and bring them up and through the tube. Using another piece of yarn, we're going to wrap a knot around probably about an inch above the band, and then we're going to cut the excess of the hat off to make a little puff ball. Now we're going to move on to our scarves. I'm just using pinking shears on this scarf that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I am making about ½ inch cuts. And I think they were probably about maybe 10 inches. And then I'm going to cut them across and then cut them apart. And we will have 13, there's 14 here, but I'm going to use 13 of these little scarves for our garland. So our hats can hang on the garland. I'm going to be threading another piece of yarn through this needle and then push it through the top of the hat, right under that yarn that I used to make the puff ball. And I'm going to do this to all of the hats, and then leaving one end on one side and one end on the other so I can tie it around the garland. I was lucky enough to score one of these beaded garlands from the Dollar Tree, and there are 100 beads on there. I know because I counted. And we'll be using 13 scarves and 8 hats. And I will be putting the scarves on every 7 beads, and then the hats will vary between 3 and 4 beads after the second scarf. So that will make more sense in just a minute once I show you a close-up of what I'm doing. I am attaching this scarf 7 beads away from the original one, and I will not be putting a hat next to the scarf I'm working on. I will put on another scarf and then add a hat about 3 or 4 beads after that one. So there are 2 scarves between every hat. I hope that makes sense. I lost my supplies list picture, so I will talk you through what I have here. The wreath is from Walmart. It is the $2 one. And then I'm using these wooden houses and cutouts from the Dollar Tree. I used this same process last year when I made a Mackenzie Childs dupe. I will post a picture here, and pretty much exactly the same process. I had a board on the bottom. This one came with the 3D wooden pieces, and I just glued the house and the trees to it. And underneath, as you'll see here in just a second, I'm going to glue some wires, and that is so that we can attach it to the wreath. Now this is, of course, a $5 version of that wreath, but I think it's equally pretty. As you'll see at the end, it's plain, but I really like it. It's very neutral and kind of gives me a Scandinavian vibes. These are the little pieces I broke off of the house earlier, and we're going to use these to anchor the wires on the base. Now here I am wiring it to the wreath. I'm going around the entire wreath here on the bottom, and I will be using the branches to help anchor it in place. And I will do the same thing on the back. You'll see I will add some more wire, and I use a bit of cardstock just to anchor that in place. But that is what I do to get it to stay on the wreath. These wooden snowflakes are also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm only going to use 3 of them, and I'm going to hang them with this plastic thread, and I'm doing that so that way they look like they're floating. And to attach it, I'm just going to tie it to the top of the wreath. I love plaids for Christmas, but for me it's a very specific plaid. It's the red with the sapphire blue in it. I don't know the actual name of it, but I know it when I see it. So I'm using that one, and then this really pretty ribbon with the houses on it that I got this year from Walmart. And with the ribbons, it technically makes the wreath around $5.25, but I figure I can spare a quarter. I am on other social media platforms as well, including Pinterest and Instagram. And if you are as well, I would love it if you would stop by and say hi. I always love talking to my followers. As I mentioned in the intro, this is our monthly 5 under $5 DIY challenge, which is hosted by Missy of the Crafty Cove DIY, Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and there's a guest host every month, and this month is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. And all of these ladies are really awesome, very sweet, and very, very talented. So please go check out their channels. I will have them listed in the description box, as well as the playlist, which is full of very talented women. Definitely go check it out. You will get some fantastic Christmas inspiration. This is some fabric I had on hand. I think it was old leggings, but it has some stretch to it. And I'm using this stemless wine glass just because, again, it's what I had on hand. And all I'm doing is I'm just tucking in all of the edges. We're going to work on her hair. I am unraveling probably multiples of 12 inches in length, and then I'm going to tie them in the middle to make her center part. I'm going to do this twice, and I'm going to brush them out so that way it's a little fuller on the ends. This gnome I am calling the Lucia gnome because it's very loosely based on the Swedish lore of Saint Lucia, who wears a wreath on her head with candles in it. I'm not putting candles in her wreath, but she is holding a lantern. And I'm not going to go into the full story because I may butcher it, but it brings back some very fond memories of me, especially when I was little, looking through the American Girl catalog and seeing the Kristen doll with her Saint Lucia wreath on her head. So this is my gnome version. So I am cutting these rollers in half, and I'm removing the white plastic tab on each side, and then I'm going to glue it together on the top, and this will be the part that is where her arm meets her body. This is a sock that lost its mate, so it's getting new life as a couple of arms. If you are enjoying this video, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel and also turning on those notifications so you know when I post new videos. My subscribers are the best of YouTube, and I hope that you will consider joining us. These cute little lanterns I got at Walmart this year. Here I'm just going to style her hair into some loose pigtails. I want them to cover up where her arms are glued on, but I don't want them to just be hanging there lifeless. So she's getting a bit of a hairdo. Fell in love with these boot ornaments from the Dollar Tree this year and knew I had to use them for her. So I'm just going to glue her on, and that's pretty much it. They are cute as they are. I think they'd be super cute as a baby's first Christmas ornament also. This black canvas was gifted to me by Tammy over at the Rusted Willow, and I saw these window clings at Walmart and knew that that is exactly what I was going to use this canvas for. So all I'm doing is I'm just removing it from the frame, and then we're going to glue it back on. So these set of clings are $4.98, but I'm only using one house, so I'm justifying it that way for this DIY challenge. So I am going to use just the one house, and I will be using 5 of the snowflakes that come with it. Before I Mod Podge it on, I am going to trim off the excess around the silhouette just so it looks a little cleaner, and then I will apply it to the canvas. This is some faux snow that I have had for probably a couple years now. It keeps getting recycled, but it lasts. So we're going to use that to create the snowfall on this silhouette. This may be more of a hack than a DIY, but I love it because it really does create a nice look. If you've got extra mugs or maybe one that might be cracked and you don't want to throw it away yet. But this is a mug that was gifted to me many years ago, and I am going to use it to display this tree. And I think it'd be super cute to have a lot of these mugs with these trees, maybe on your coffee bar or a sideboard or something like that. So all I'm doing is literally just stuffing the bottom with this filler paper and putting the tree in. And you can do any accessories that you like. I've seen some with snowmen, I've seen some with little mini presents. The sky's the limit, and that's it. I would love to know which one of these was your favorite. Comment down below and tell me. It means so much to me that you spent your time with me, and I hope that you have very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and until I see you in the next video, take care.